Okay, so here's a wild thought. Could an algorithm actually teach you how to love? That's the huge question behind this new app called Socialized and its feature, the Love Coach. It's an AI that's supposed to be your own personal relationship mentor. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into this pretty fascinating piece of tech that's making a big promise to fix modern dating.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at why something like this even needs to exist, the whole modern dating dilemma. Then, we'll meet the AI coach itself and check out the tech that makes it tick. After that, the really juicy part. We'll see how the marketing promises stack up against what real users are saying. And we'll wrap it all up by asking that big question. Is this where love is headed?
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the modern dating dilemma. I mean, why would a dating app decide it needed to build an AI coach in the first place? Well, the whole idea behind Love Coach really starts with this pretty bold, maybe even controversial question. Is the way we date today just broken? The people over at Socialized seem to think the answer is a big yes. And here's why. According to their research, dating apps are great for meeting tons of people, but they haven't really taught us how to connect. And you've probably felt this, right? The bad communication, the constant misunderstandings, that feeling that you're just swiping but never really building a deep connection. Well, Socialize says that's the problem their Love Coach was built to solve. So, what's their answer to this whole mess? You guessed it, a very high-tech solution, an AI Love Coach. So, what is Love Coach exactly? Well, the official description calls it an AI-powered dating and relationship mentor. The whole idea is that it goes beyond just finding you a match. It's supposed to actively coach you on how to talk to people, how to build real chemistry. Basically, they're trying to put a tiny relationship expert right there in your pocket.
And this is what they claim it can do for you. It's not just generic stuff. They're promising tailored communication tips just for you. Coaching to boost your emotional intelligence, and even live feedback on your chats as they're happening. It's meant to be a full toolkit, from breaking the ice all the way to handling your first argument.
That all sounds incredibly impressive, right? But how does it actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine. It really boils down to three main steps. First, it reads your chats using natural language processing, or NLP. Just think of it like an AI that can read between the lines. It's trying to get the tone, the emotion, the real intent. Second, it uses machine learning to sift through mountains of anonymized chat data to figure out what successful conversations actually look like. And finally, it takes all that information and plugs it into their matchmaking algorithm, which they call Match IQ, to hopefully find you someone you'll actually click with.
And here's one of the craziest features, something they call a relationship health score. The AI literally gives your communication patterns a grade, showing you what you're good at and where you might need a little help. It's turning the art of conversation into a science.
Okay, but this is where things get really interesting. Let's talk about the promise versus the reality. All this fancy tech sounds great, but what do the actual users think? How does it hold up in the real world? So first, you've got the promise. Socialized pushes these super exclusive premium features. We're talking personalized insights on your matches, custom date ideas, a dashboard to track your relationship growth, and even one-on-one coaching sessions. It really sounds like the ultimate dating cheat code. But then you look at the real user ratings, and wow, people are completely divided. You've got 30% of users giving it a perfect 5 stars, saying it changed their life. But on the complete opposite end, you have another 30% giving it 1 or 2 stars. Everybody else is just kind of stuck in the middle. It really seems like for every person who absolutely loves it, there's someone else who thinks it's a total flop. Let's start with the good stuff. You have people like Emily, who says she met someone amazing because of the app's advice. For her, it was an absolute game changer. Then you've got your middle-of-the-road folks like Jordan. He thought some of it was a little generic, but hey, the communication tips were still pretty good. So, not bad, but not mind-blowing either. And then there's the other side of the coin. Users like Lena, who felt like it completely missed the mark on that whole personalization promise. She was just left wanting something with a lot more depth. And this slide just sums up the whole debate perfectly. The promise is stronger, more meaningful connections. The reality, for users like Ben, was that it felt like recycled advice from a blog. And that contrast is everything, right? It really seems like the AI's advice is either a huge revelation or just super obvious, and it all depends on who you are and what you were expecting to get out of it. So what does all this mean for the future of love? before we can even try to answer that, we have to look at the really important stuff, the fine print. We're talking privacy, disclaimers, and the whole big picture. Obviously, if an AI is reading your most personal conversations, privacy is a massive deal. Socialized seems to get that. They make a few key promises. All the data is anonymized, you have total control and can opt out whenever you want, all the sensitive stuff is encrypted, and they even say they have humans watching over the AI to make sure its advice doesn't get weird or biased. These are definitely the right things to say to build trust. And this right here might be the single most important bit of fine print. The company states very clearly that Love Coach does not guarantee successful connections or relationship longevity. So at the end of the day, they're telling you this is a tool to help you out, not some magic wand that's going to create love out of thin air. They also draw another really important line in the sand. They say Love Coach is not a replacement for actual professional therapy. It's designed to be a helpful guide, sure, but it's not a substitute for a real human therapist if that's what you need. Which, of course, brings us all the way back to the ultimate question. After looking at the promises, the tech, the seriously mixed reviews, and all that fine print, would you let an AI coach your love life? It feels like the jury is still very, very out on whether an algorithm can ever truly figure out the human heart.